After the first semifinal here in Monmouth, NCAA West Regionals, we have Azusa Pacific with us, just lost to Cal Baptist 72-68. Head coach Justin Leslie, joined by Mandrell Worthy and Selim Awugbe. Coach, a tough loss here today, but a big second half to make this one interesting and really prove a point.
Yeah, it was a great college basketball game. Obviously the first half wasn't our finest performance on either side of the ball, and to get ourselves down 10, it was a little bit too much, of a hole to dig ourselves out of. Although we came back, we took the lead. We lead changed 7 times, throughout the game, multiple times in the last couple minutes. I'll give credit to DII for making those contested mid-range shots and making us free throws.
It's always tough to win a basketball game when your opponent shooting 53% from the field, but you guys did just about everything you could in the second half. 60% shooting in the second half, 12 of 20, and 4 of 8 from 3. Mandrell, you put up another big game against Cal Baptist. Second time this year, you put up 22 or more. What's the matchup like against the Lancers that makes for such successful contest for you?
It's just my teammates putting me in the right position. Coach calls the plays, and my teammates look out for me. They set me up, and they make sure I get in the right spots, and I'm just reading what they give me. So,
Selim, you get 2 blocks here tonight, and you actually pass your head coach for the single season blocks leader in Azusa Pacific history. So congratulations on that. The fight inside with the post was a tough one. You and Petar did a great job against a very tough duo in both Davis and Dioff. What did you do against Dioff and Davis to try and shut them down the best you could?
Well, I'd say we followed the game plan that our coach prepared us for. We went over it multiple times how we would guard the 2. I wouldn't say I guarded him perfectly. I definitely made multiple errors, but both me and Petar brought our best to try and limit his touches, because those 2 are some of the 2 best players on their team. So, we just try to do our part and shut them down and limit their touches, like I said. But, Diu's a great player, and he was still able to make buckets. And, yeah.
Coach, it's always hard to see one of your records move into second place, but you got a great player in Selim taking over in the #1 spot. What have you liked about his game in the first 2 years you've had him?
Well, I told him when I recruited him, it was specifically to break that record. Right?
Sure.
And he's only going to build on it. But the thing that I'm the most proud of, specifically with these 2 right now, is that and there's other guys in the locker room that are along the same lines. I mean, they're competitive, and this loss it really hurts, and it's always tough at the end of the year, to be put in a position like this where, they're here because they had a good game, but I know their hearts are with those seniors that aren't going to be a part of the program anymore. Their hearts are, out there on the floor still wanting for one more possession to be able to compete and have a chance. And, while we're going to miss Corey and Petar and their unbelievable investments that they've made in this program over the course of their careers as 4- and 5-year players, they've passed the torch, off to men like this that are going to be hungry, and they're going to come back and continue to represent APU basketball, in a God-honoring fashion with everything that they have every day. These are wonderful men that I'm surrounded with, and I just couldn't be more happy to coach, this group. It hurts right now, but this is a wonderful team to be a part of.
Questions for Mandrell. As a new player this year, what did you learn about Azusa Pacific basketball over the course of the season, but especially during this tournament?
Well, for my team in the past, it was like a new program. So when I got here, they were already an established program, a winning program. So that's something that caught my eye. Obviously, I came here with the intentions to obviously come to the NCAA tournament every year, and that's what this program is used to. So that's the first thing I picked up. And then secondly, our 2 seniors leading by example. Petar, he's one of the all-time leading rebounders in points. And then Corey, he's the epitome of a leader, you know what I'm saying? He's the guy that you look to for everything. Like, he's the guy that would get us in line, everything. So those two guys led us the whole year. They were the ones with the experience, so that's who I look toward to follow and ask questions and everything. So that's
Perfect. Selim, Coach talked about it earlier. The leadership of Pitar and Corey now gets passed on to kind of the younger class, and you and Mandrell are definitely a part of that. What did you learn from their seniors? What did you appreciate from the seniors? And what do you hope to carry forward as you become one of those leaders?
I would say I learned a lot in these past 2 years that I've been honored to play with those two players. Like Mandrell mentioned earlier, I'll start with Corey. Like he said, he's the epitome of a leader. All the little things that you take for granted, getting us organized for lines, calling breaks, calling plays, getting us organized, getting us, just like I mentioned, all the little things that we take for granted that we don't want to do. Corey just jumps in with both hands, both feet, no hesitation, and accepts that role. I learned a perseverance that I've never seen before. Every drill, every run, every punishment, every little thing that we had to do, Corey would strive to be the first. I saw a resilience from him that I'll never forget, and I'll always strive to be. He's a great player, works incredibly hard, and I'll never forget that. I'll take that with me for the rest of my life. As for Pitar, he has this fight in him that I'll never forget. Every day in practice, my goal would be to make sure that he didn't score. And you know what? I failed every single practice because he's such a great player, and he's so strong and also resilient. He works hard at his craft. He's been with the program for about 5 years now, and he's made immense growth. I was blessed to be able to play with him. I learned a lot from him, both in the post, coming in as a freshman, and having all these questions where I didn't understand. And since he was a tenured player, he knew, and he brought me in and was willing to teach me. And I'm really grateful for that he was able to teach me basically what he was best at.
And then last thing, from me at least, Coach, you wouldn't do what you do in terms of coaching if you didn't love it. What is it that you loved about coaching this year's team?
I brought my son on multiple road trips this year. And these guys are his heroes. An 8-year-old boy that gets to go in and be a part of men like this every day. That's why I do it. I mean, the quality of character in these men, these are sophomores, okay? These are the sophomores. That's throughout this program, and I could not be more proud of this group, blessed that I get to be with them every day. And I'll tell you what, that's, as Mandrell said, our goal is to be here every year to win games in the NCAA tournament. And the reason that we do is because the quality of the depth of character of these men and everything that they do, and it carries over onto the basketball court. And that's what means the most to me with this group.
Congratulations on a great season, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.